I ain't beast on 100, you heard?
You are tuning in to T Consciousness. Please like, comment, and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you. What's going on, social media? It's T Consciousness once again back at you with another video speaking on why good men are never appreciated. And the reason why good men are never appreciated is because good men never promises any hardship to women. They attract to them by universal law who are problematic because they're damaged and ran through. Women who's been through hell and back adapt to their damaged predicament. They become a living organ that thrives on pain, and they constantly need to feel it or cause it to find a relationship worthwhile being in. Good, honest, hardworking men who love unconditionally are easy to please and earn from. The lives of these type of men are the perfect safety zones for damaged women to turn to after bad guys they really are sexually turned on by don't want them. Good men put women in a position naturally not to have to earn his love because he's so willing to give it for an exchange of pleasure of her body that society teaches women where their value lies. Nice guys don't have high standards and demands on a woman living up to an expectation to earn his benefits. Once a woman earns those benefits, she psychologically leaves the workforce of being a wife in her mind and living up to a standard to keep him. No woman is going to cherish nothing she earns from a nice guy if she did little to nothing to earn it. If she didn't work hard for it, she's not going to put in the effort that has her remain eligible for the benefits she receives. Marriage psychologically ends the grind of being a wife in the minds of women today. And the benefits she receives out of this nice guy is parallel to a person in a predicament to receive Social Security benefits, unemployment, or retirement, or an inheritance. Why would anybody feel they need to continue working hard for something they didn't work hard to earn? This is a fixed law objective in the value system of effort and elevation, sociologics. Women are naturally hypergamous. Once they conquered a man into giving her the world, making her a stay-at-home wife or spoiling her with a bunch of things and his time attention, the dynamic makes her safe to the point she gets bored and she can't even get no new refreshing excitement out of dealing with him because she knows him like the back of her hand, and the function of his life becomes a program. Good men that really love and who are content in what they do for their woman, the woman internalizes their behavior and their energy as beta simping. Some guys who are too nice happen to be beta simps, and they only know how to cater to women from a space of suffrage. Couples in these situations end up in divorce court or broke up. 80% of the situations are women who initiate the infidelity or divorce. Nice guys don't project an aura of masculinity the way bad boys who have a handful of women in their lives do. Women need to be sexually conquered to submit. Nice guys pretty much give off an aura of subserviency. They have this "what can I do for you" and roll a red carpet and throw the rose petals type of vibes. Women fathom the character of these type of men as unrealistic fairy tale type of companions. Their reality thrive around chaos and pain, and that's all they can adapt to and function in. And there's another video I will put out about the Disney effect and how it takes effect on people's minds at a young age about monogamy and how it goes in effect in the adult life. But we're gonna keep it on this subject matter right now, why good men are never appreciated. A lot of women tend to get bored of the good and get fun out of the bad. In this case, with the good guy and the woman who like bad boys, there is no attraction, there's only extraction. Once she got enough of good guy extraction, she go get bad boy action. A lot of women spend their good years chasing pretty boys who got swag or popular guys for clout and connections. They're like scammers, the drug dealers for money, and they be around the drug dealers for free drugs or drugs for the low. And they mess around with the popular boys who are known on the party scene, the clubs, and known for messing with a lot of girls just to have competition with other girls. You know, and they deal with these guys to get in clubs for free, they get in concerts for free, or get tickets to concerts for the low. They have all these guys in their life and they have to give them sexual benefits to reap their benefits. You know, and they don't have a problem doing so. You know, and the other type of guys say like gangbangers and robbers because they give them a sense of feeling protected and dominated sexually, and they tend to nail their tail the hell out. These women fall in love with these guys in a euphorical state of mind and love, thinking marriage or long-term relationship is gonna come out of the situation if babies come along. Or they establish a long history of intimacy with them. Bad boys of the streets don't have the life etiquette to be thorough fathers or husbands because they live a life on the run and their lifestyle is just prone for random danger. And they always gotta be out making a different move daily to make fast money or chase some other tail or deal with ops and stuff and duck cops. They don't have time to give thorough, productive time to monogamy or no woman's feelings. And psychologically, I believe the structure of our social economy system between women and men is conditioned by the suffrage of slavery and monogamous programming of the media, along with the natural hypergamous nature of females. But I don't think their female nature on hypergamy and power-seeking level wouldn't be so bad as it is if it wasn't for the force in charge of the world doing what they do to destroy the masses from being in tune with their true identity, divinity, and not being stimulated with the things that thrive the matrix that keep people in a sleep state of unconsciousness. Women only respect power. They are naturally attracted to the alpha males of their culture, and they respect their bosses more than they respect their husbands because their bosses are putting them in a position to elevate economically up the ladder and earn money and earn status to a point where she feels equal to men and not need one. A lot of women like to be treated bad because psychological pain experiences that's adopted into their sociologics of female nature, and society treats them like victims, so they tend to think like them, so they have a reason to live for validation and tend to be a big trigger influence in situations that result in turmoil, so they can feel pain and people can feel bad for them and they have a reasonable cause to cause pain. I tell men, women have the power today to make you, break you, and the lesson from dealing with her can only wake you. I also do consultations to men and I tell them to not do too much things out of your good feelings for women and your sexual desires for them. Do the minimum. Wait some days without talking to them and see if they care to hit you up. If you're the primary one feeding the relationship, initiating conversation and activities, you're the one doing the most out of your interest to keep the relationship fun and functionable. And if you get too deep into this type of dynamic, the relationship is going to revolve around you being the servant of happiness, fun, and adventure and resource, while she just sits at the table with her feet crossed and hands behind her head chilling. You'll become drained of the non-reciprocated energy and resource you're investing into the relationship, and after a while, you'll become dissatisfied, and it will take a toll on your mind, body, and your spirit, and your energy, and your work effort in the workplace, and your work effort in the relationship. And she's gonna have a nerve to complain that you're not doing enough like you used to after a while. Being a good man will have you vulnerable to fall into a psychological debt because of the foundation of this condition of being a nice guy is based in being raised by a single mother who raised you to be attentive to her emotional needs regardless of how she neglected your needs mentally and emotionally, regardless of how she was treating you. Your love for her was based in the trauma that was done to her. And a lot of that is based out of her own unethical thinking. She neglect your needs, and this is where the psychological debt begins with good men who feel they owe women so much because they've been through a lot. 89% of what they've been through is based on their own error, and you grow up believing it's your responsibility to be their trauma pillow. And you grow up being an insurance policy paying off damages you didn't even cause. Never be a woman's emotional tampon or reservoir dump for her emotional garbage. And never be a stepping stone for these women to stand on. These type of men get used and left and have to pay alimony and child support and straddle the fence finding love again because they're damaged, and sometimes more damage than the woman they did the most to try to heal and make happy and secure from doing whatever she was doing to survive on her own before she got with him. Makes it worse. A lot of these women have kids by other men and they bring good men into their lives. And these men get attached to the kids, loving them as their own. And it's no man's responsibility to raise another man's kids as his own. If these kids have their biological father living, those kids need to be dealt with by their fathers. And the mother needs to work out the differences that is the cause of her not allowing those men to be around, or has those men not wanting to co-parent with her. Stepdad dedication in these situations goes hand in hand with the psychological debt conditioning of hurt single mama syndrome, because if good men will take on their problematic issues, they will take on their baggage to be considered a good man by her and society. The whole narrative of being a nice guy, a good guy, will never get you truly cherished for you. You will only be appreciated for what you do. It will never be about you. These guys are the type of men who marry 304s. While they working hard at the workplace, they girl at home sneaking men in the back door. Always drumming up situations for a reasonable cause to split up so they can go get their tail aired out by some other guy that doesn't give them the substance she gets from her good man to reap the pleasure of her body. Women naturally sexually submit to bad boys who have more masculine aura, who get a lot of women who look good as them or better. Good guys who are more faithful, content, and consistent and hardworking to keep that relationship functionable don't get cherished. They stay getting cheated on. They stay getting tolerated. Maybe even raising kids that he think he impregnated her with, and they be by her Pookie Ray Ray side dudes. Life sucks for good men. It's crazy as common in our community damaged women of the streets try to redeem their good years in purity through religion. They go find Jesus Christ that suddenly turns their situation around. That takes human ethical work to do. It takes figuring out the origin of their problems and seeing where they stem from and what role they played in their turmoil, and take accountability. And they need to do some healing, they need to do some forgiving, and they owe apologies to people as well. They want to skip over that process and just get fed with this unrealistic spiritual fantasy doctrine that has her feeling she's brand new and clean and a virgin again and entitled to a high-class holy man because she believed in something the Bible said that Jesus supposedly said in this matter. And that's a whole nother subject. You know, that's a part of the subjugational system, religion. But we're talking about why good men are never appreciated. These women get into the lives of good churchmen who are in the line of duty of music ministry or even clergy ministry, or play a dedicated role to the servantry of the church like a deacon or a member of an administration board or the usher board. They find these conservative, educated good men who never attracted good-looking women like them. Some of these women get desperate and marry elderly men who own a home and got money and retired, and they drive lavish cars because he's in a time of life where he can die in a few years from their time of marriage with them. And when he's gone, she's married into his wealth, and there's no true love in this dynamic. It's only a life hack out the struggle. A lot of these women have sugar daddies, or they get into prostitution, stripping, escorting, OnlyFans, and they use their body as a sex instrument to make money. A good man is never no woman's sex fantasy. Only these men are her provider. That sex becomes a chore for her to do in the life of this type of man. It's parallel to the scenario of a child having to do chores they really don't want to do when their parents tell them, and they just hurry up and huff and puff and stomp their feet and get it out the way so they can get back to doing what they want to do. Back parallel to this case scenario of that good guy making a sex proposal to his wife, his girlfriend, and she really don't want to do it because he give her boring, mediocre sex. She knows how to lay, how to turn over to get him off, and he don't last that long. And she's so used to doing it, but she has to do it grudgingly to earn what she's with him for. And she collect that benefit and go turn up with her and her girls to go give some bad boys some fun, or even invest that payment into her and her side dude who be airing her out. The other downfall for good men who get with women like this, who really don't appreciate them, is their women's circle of women, who are probably all single women who give her a bunch of game on life that keeps her single mentally. And it's worse if she was raised by a single mother who was around single women who were damaged by men. These type of women only get with good guys who feel psychologically deaded by damaged women. Good guys and damaged women go hand in hand. There'll be no thriving economy on a sociological date level when it comes to established relationships that's more secured and established on that good man's end. By the time women who get ran through hit the wall, they give what's left to good guys that were pursuing them all their good years. And when they give them what's left that bad guys and their baby daddies got best, that good guy will realize he's at his less. A lot of good guys are not in the state of the abundance mindset. They will accept the leftovers they get, and after a while they will feel the miles on her body that lost its elasticity, and all the telegony she collected from these men will be symptomatic in her problematic behavior that makes her unbearable to deal with and expensive to manage. There's a cliche and a saying that's been going around for years in our culture. Another man's trash is another man's treasure. It's pretty much an organized analogy of turning a hoe into a housewife. If a woman has been dogged by the streets, she's for the streets. She had to put time in to tolerate the chaos she desires. That got her a damaging outcome. And what she desires pretty much explains her prototype, her value. And then when a good guy come along and see her knocked down on the ground, he pick her up, dust her off, and wipe the tears from her face and bring her into his house and show her love. She's not gonna know how to deal with that. It's in every woman's natural inclination and fantasy to want that, but they can't handle it because it's not in the customs of the system of the struggle that became culture, that they get pain out of, that has been adopted into their womanhood to function on. The bad boy is her man. The bad boy is her soulmate. Let them women have them and let that run them to where they run to. Because at the end of the day, when they hit the wall, only thing they're good for is Jesus Christ or some education and career to economically elevate over the struggle, to give them some sense of self-value that's really based in material things, to look down on other people, to keep themselves sleeping unconscious to the struggle. And why they're alone and nobody wants them long term, they have to keep partying, using drugs and alcohol, and letting Pookie Ray Rays and swagged out pretty boys run through them. And they have to keep traveling and exploring the world and show social media that life is popping when they're miserable as hell. And they're gonna hit the wall and stop tatting their face and shaving their heads bald and probably get into lesbianism or just be alone or pull themselves into having no other choice but to settle down with a good guy that can give them everything their type of men will never give them. And they gotta be bored and tolerate the undesirable dynamic after a while. All right, guys, that's it for today. You'll see me next time when I upload my next content. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, comment, and hit the notification bell. Thank you.